Hello students, good morning. Hope you are well. We were doing chapter 10, India wins freedom. And you are also a freedom fighter if you add something into development of India. Okay? You become a soldier if you are helping India to grow more. See, small steps you can take, being at home, protecting yourself, washing your hands most of the time, and also wearing mask if you are away from the home. So these are the things you can do. Okay, so we'll continue the chapter. We were doing about how long it took India to get freedom. Okay, we had seen so many things from the war of 1857. So many things happened at that time. Who are the people who fought, how they were curbed by the Britishers, all these things we learned. Okay, then we also had learned some new societies and social groups came, and they started inspiring people to fight for the free India. Then Indian National Congress was formed under the guidance, or it was helped by the A.O. Hume, one of the British retired officer. Okay, then we also learned that Hindu Muslims came together to work for the freedom of India. Muslim League was made for the what we say, Muslims came together. Muslim League was made during this time. Okay, now period of repression I told you. So during this times, like Turkey was having war with the Britishers, so all Muslims also in India were against the Britishers. Khilafat movement was formed. Home rule movement we learned. Okay, Rollo Act was passed, in which anybody who was going against the Britishers were put behind the war. Okay, Jallianwala Bagh massacre also we saw that how thousands of people in Jallianwala Bagh in Amritsar was uh, killed or martyr, what we say, the massacre in a Hatyakand you say is this. Okay, this all happened. Now we are going to see today salt satyagraha. We are going to see about salt satyagraha. Now in salt satyagraha was by Gandhiji. During this time, Britishers had started and Salt Act. According to this act, Indians were not allowed to manufacture salt or uh, trade the salt. Not allowed for the trade of salt and manufacturing of salt. So Gandhiji started a civil disobedience movement. Okay, disobedience to the Britishers. Okay, not following what they did. So he broke the Salt Act. How? He marched till Dandi. Dandi is a place in Gujarat, and he picked up the salt. It was a sign that he is breaking the law of, or the disobeying the Britishers. So this was Salt Satyagraha, civil disobedience movement by Gandhiji. Clear this paragraph? Gandhiji broke the Salt Act. As I told you, Salt Act was the Indians were not allowed to manufacture and trade the salt. And during Gandhiji started civil disobedience movement. In this movement to disobey the Britishers. So what he did, he marched till Dandi with a group of people. Many people joined him on the way. And in Dandi, he picked up the salt. It is near the sea. Okay. And what he did, by picking up the salt from there, he broke and disobeyed the Britishers. That is salt satyagraha. Now demand for Pakistan. Next one we have here, demand for Pakistan. Now the war in Turkey had ended by this time. So by this time, war in the Turkey ended. The war which was going to in Turkey with the Britishers. So the British wooed the Indian Muslim once again. So what the Britishers saw now, the war has ended. Now so they again started pampering or doing, making the Muslims of India to understand, to come again towards the Britishers side. Till now they were supporting, they were against the Britishers because they saw that in Turkey the Muslims were against the Britishers. So now the war has ended. So Britishers thought, let us again divide the Hindus and Muslim in India. Okay, so they started pampering and making the Muslims to come towards their side. Okay, so they were now led by leaders like Muhammad Ali Jinnah was the leaders of Muslims at that time. Now he started demanding a separate country for Muslims. Okay, Muslims of India. So in 1953, home rule was granted. Okay, home rule is means the people of India will rule in India itself. Okay, that is called home rule. Okay, through an act. So elections were held in 1937. So in 1937, elections were held. These elections were held so that the Indian people may rule in India, home rule. Okay, स्वराज्य, अपना राज्य खुद करना. Okay, so elections were held in 1937 and Congress won majority in 8 out of 11. So 11 provinces were there, like we have now states. Na? That time there were provinces. So 11 provinces were there, out of which, 8 provinces were won by this majority seat was of Congress. So ministries were formed, but they had to resign as again Second World War broke out. Again Second World War started, so the ministers had to resign now. Now the British had declared that India would join the war, but the Congress leaders were not ready for it. Now Britishers are saying now India also has to join in the war, which is going to take place of Second World War. Indians should also join with the Britishers. But Congress leaders said we will not join in the Second World War with the Britishers. This was happening for the demand for Pakistan. Clear? Demand for Pakistan. Muslims demanded under the leadership of Muhammad Ali Jinnah separate nations for Indians. Until now, home rule was granted to the Indians. Elections were held. Congress won majority of provinces. 11 places में से 11 राज्यों में से 8 कांग्रेस के थे. So ministries were made, but they all had to resign as Second World War started. Britishers asked Indian also to join with them for the Second World War and support them, but the Congress leaders denied it. Clear? Next we have Quit India Movement, Bharat Chodo Andolan. Now Congress started Quit India Movement in 1942. So this is all you are learning, a long history of struggle for freedom. Mr. Jinnah, the leader of Muslim, came out with an open demand for what we say Pakistan now. So in 1942, when all Indians, Hindu, Muslim, all are asking for Britishers to Bharat छोड़ के जाने के लिए, that time the Muhammad Ali Jinnah is asking for a separate place for the Muslims. National Congress, the British rulers banned Indian National Congress as an illegal party and arrested its leader. So in that time, the British rulers said that Indian National Congress is a illegal party and all the leaders of the party were put into jail. Subhash Chandra Bose ran away from there, escaped and went to Germany, and from Germany to Japan, and from Japan he was preparing an army to attack the Britishers. So he enrolled all the Indian prisoners. So all the Indian prisoners who were in Japan, he formed them together, he called them together and formed an Azad Hind Fauj, which is called as Indian National Army. He attacked British rule to quit India and advance up the Manipur, but suddenly he died in air crash. So you followed. Home Rule Act is started, and Indian National Congress leaders are there. There is Second World War. Britishers are asking them to help them in the Second World War. Congress leaders denied. Muhammad Ali Jinnah is asking for a separate nation from the Muslim for the Muslims. Now Quit India movement started, Bharat Chodo Andolan. Okay, this was all happening. Britishers said that Indian National Congress is an illegal party. Members are put into behind the jail or behind the bars. Subhash Chandra Bose escapes and runs away, goes to Germany. From there he goes to Japan, and in Japan he meets the Indian prisoners. He collects them all, forms an army to attack the Britishers. Clear? But during all this process, when he was doing, he dies in aeroplane air crash. Okay, so air crash, एक एरोप्लेन दुर्घटना में, हवाई दुर्घटना में उनकी मृत्यु हो जाती है. दिस इज अबाउट द क्विट इंडिया मूवमेंट. ओके, भारत छोड़ो आंदोलन 1942. How India wins freedom now? The Congress was trying to persuade Mr. Jinnah to give up his demand for Pakistan. Congress tried its best to make Jinnah understand not to demand for Pakistan, but he did not agree. Jinnah did not agree he said that we want a separate nation for Muslims. World War II had ended by now. World War also ended now. In 1945, Labour Party came to power there with Lord Attlee as the new Prime Minister. Okay, he decided to set India free and sent. So he decided that we will free India now. We will leave India and go. So he sent Lord Mountbatten as the new Governor General of India with view of transferring power to the Indian leaders. So he sent Lord Mountbatten कि you go in India and we will transfer all the powers to Indians only. हम सारी जितनी भी पावर्स हैं, जो भी इंडियंस का है, जो भी जिम्मेदारियां हैं, जो भी उनको रूल करना है, वो सब इंडियंस को देना है. दैट ही डिसाइडेड एंड ही सेंट लॉर्ड माउंटबेटन एज द गवर्नर जनरल. The Muslim League did not give up the demand for Pakistan, so India was divided into two parts. So Muslim people did not, or Muslim League demanded Pakistan, so India was divided into two parts, India and Pakistan. At midnight 1947 and 14th August, Pakistan was divided from the India as a separate place for the Muslims. Lord Mountbatten was made the first Governor General of Free India. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru was the first Prime Minister of Free India, and Mr. C. Gopalachari, Rajgopalachari became the Governor General of India in 1948. This is all the story of a struggle, such a long struggle we had from 1857, the first revolt, to till 1947. So it is, we have gone through a long struggle. बहुत मुश्किल से freedom मिली है. So it was a struggle for liberation. Liberation means freedom from imperialism. Imperialism from somebody else's ruling on us, samrajya se, as well as equal right for all, so that everybody gets equal right. Where only Britishers were developing, now we all have equal right. It made the common man fearless and bold. All people became now fearless, bold. Bold means himmat wale. It also showed new way to the struggle against injustice to all people and communities in the world. So it shows the way how we have to struggle against the injustice so that all people develop well. So we salute our freedom fighters who gave their lives to make possible for us breathe in free India. So we remember, we commemorate them on the different occasions. We salute them for how long they have struggled to make us free. So now it is our duty to work honestly to fulfill dreams of great leaders, to glorify India and make her a golden sparrow again. The goal is to make India peaceful, progressive, literary country free from pangs of poverty, where every citizen feels safe and secure. So it is our duty to make India dreamland. What they demanded, a country free of poverty. Okay, कहीं गरीबी ना हो, सारे लोग safe हो, secure हो, शांति हो, खुश हो, health हो. Okay, where the women of country are treated with dignity and सारी जो जितनी भी महिलाएं हैं उन्हें respect मिले. Every child gets its dream fulfilled. That India we have to work. For that we all have to support. You can support by studying nicely, doing your small jobs at home, and helping your parents, obeying your parents, doing your work on time. And during this time, uh, this pandemic time, taking care of yourselves, not going out, washing your hands, keeping yourself safe at home. So there are little ways in which you can contribute for the freedom of India and development of India. Do that and read the chapter again. And if you have not understood, you can ask me always through on Saturdays. You can ask my number from your class teacher and ask me if you have not understood. Okay, read the chapter and always Try to work for the development of your country. Do small things which will help for the development. Okay? Become a freedom fighter without being in the ground. You can be a freedom fighter without being in the ground by doing small work at home, by helping others, by making your country feel or let it grow and develop. Okay? Thank you. Have a nice day. Enjoy and study well. Bye.